Hello and welcome to The Making Season 3 with me, Shereen, Bhan, in association with HSBC. India's pledge to achieve net zero emission goals by 2070 needs adequate green financing or sustainable financing, especially where SMEs are concerned. More precisely, India needs around $10.1 trillion to achieve net zero emissions. The good news is that with COP27 round the corner, there will be a lot of focus on improving climate resilience through collaboration and financial aid from developed countries. Hope also comes in the form of more domestic financing options and increased public awareness about the need for green projects for long-term sustainable economic growth. In fact, India is poised to issue 240 billion rupees at least in sovereign green bonds to enable the transition to a low-carbon economy. So, on this episode, we look at how major financial institutions are planning to support small and big businesses on their decarbonization journey via green bonds, sustainability linked loans, expertise, and insights. We explore how financial institutions are helping investors and clients attain sustainability goals and unlock opportunities in a low carbon economy. To talk to me about all of this and more, joining me on the program, Rajat Verma, Commercial Banking Head at HSBC India, Mahesh, Kolli, owner of Greenco, and Kuldeep Jain, the MD of CleanMax. Gentlemen, always a pleasure. Appreciate you joining us here on the program. Let me get started by talking about the decarbonization opportunity. In fact, just 24 hours ago, a report suggests that one of the key pillars for the shift in India's economy to becoming one of the largest economies in the world over the decade is likely to be the opportunities thrown up by decarbonization. So I want to get all three of you to start on exactly that. Mahesh, let me get you to address this issue, where we currently stand as far as the transition roadmap is concerned, and more importantly, the opportunities that it throws up.
India is in a different space just to compare the rest of the world. Decarbonization for India means a lot deeper in terms of energy security, a lot deeper in terms of because carbon is a foreign resource for India, and any value we add through decarbonization is all about saving economics in terms of energy cost to the market and also energy security, in addition to, of course, the carbon footprint reduction, right? So just to give some context, in the last 6 months, we have signed with at least 3 to 4 large industrial groups, the likes of ArcelorMittal, Hindalco, and other major industrial groups, because they would like to decarbonize their industrial operations with carbon-free energy framework. That's going deeper than renewables. And a carbon-free is about how do you ensure you can have 24/7 clean energy to run reliable operations of the large industrial operations. And carbon-free is making their products and services low carbon. And the new globalized trade, it's not about just low cost, it's actually low cost combined with what's a carbon footprint. And the likes of the whole EV transition we're talking about is going to largely use aluminum as part of their new metal. But aluminum is 40% more carbon intense. So the likes of Volkswagen, now they're asking for, we want to buy aluminum, but quotas not just on your ability to supply, but quotas on what is the carbon footprint and how you're going to make it as well. Right? So that's an interesting opportunity. And I believe India has the lowest cost carbon-free energy globally. We can deliver carbon-free energy less than $50 per megawatt hour, which will make India most competitive globally in terms of the new rules of the trade to enable green carbon, low carbon commodities to be exported around the world.
So Mahesh, let me start by asking you, Greenco is, of course, also raised by the green bond route, one of the many companies along with Azure, PFC and others. What was the challenge? What continue to be the constraints on this path?
No, I think we had started this journey way back in 2015. So we're probably the largest issuers of green bonds in Asia. We've issued close to $4+ billion of green bonds. I think clearly, in fact, one of the largest issuers of high yield bonds, because I think the market traditionally, does green bonds for investment grade companies, but there's always a challenge that energy companies or energy related companies in India can't be investment grade because the discoms or the off-takers in India are not investment grade. So it's always been that challenge, how to cross a bridge for a typically green bonds being an investment grade sector for a high yield issuers also to achieve the same ability to access large scale capital. But in an interesting example, as late as May this year, after the war has started, we have raised close to $1 billion of green bonds. That shows the market appetite. Not just green bonds, raised green bonds to build new projects. We raised one of its first of its kind energy storage bond to build large scale energy storage. We're building close to 50,000 megawatt hours of energy storage. And this bond we raised about close to $1 billion is for first of those 4 projects we're building. So I guess I think the mark globally, India in a non-investment grade category, most energy companies are. We have to cross that educational bridge, and I guess globally they look at India from non-subsidized, commercially viable businesses compared to what I hear in US and Europe. So I think when we educate the market that whatever we do in India is fundamental to the energy sector, fundamental to the industrial decarbonization. Most of that is now it's a function of cost, of course, what we saw in the last 2 quarters with Fed. And that cost increase will have some challenge on the long-term project returns. But I think India has been able to access at least the global bond market, a priority of across other countries in any amount of scale we would like to achieve. Yeah.
Mahesh, what I want to understand from you are what are the key risks that you're dealing with today? I mean, we talked about the challenges of financing, but outside of that, the major risks and how you intend to make yourself less vulnerable to them.
I think we strongly believe that to accelerate energy transition, we have to solve energy storage as the biggest challenge, and so particularly long duration storage. So we are committed to build close to 100,000 megawatt hours of energy storage by the next 5 years. That naturally is really unlocking many pathways to deeper decarbonization in the industrial complexes, whether it's hydrogen and also into electricity markets, right? So that's the biggest focus is to make storage cheaper and at scale. And we are forming a network called Cloud Storage Platform. And that's the biggest focus for us, so that each of those industrial complexes need not build on their own storage. They tap into our storage as a cloud platform and build their next phase of energy transition solutions. Just one last point on Rajat. We are also funding IIT Hyderabad to build a Greenco School of Sustainability and Climate Action. And that is to really enable this next phase of technologies to become industrialized as soon as we can. Yeah.
All stakeholders. Well, gentlemen, thanks very much for joining us here on The Making. We appreciate your time. We wish you the very best of luck.